We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
All right, and that's it. Because our intern's gone and our guest is gone.
Yeah, they both bailed on us.
That's all right. We're going to have a tea party today. It's going to be amazing.
Wow, I'm gone.
All right, I guess just me. Zoom the camera in. Will you do that before you go?
No.
Okay. So, today's episode... Okay, before we get into any of that, what are we drinking, Jay?
We are drinking Pike's Naughty Nelly Golden Artisan Ale. It is 5.5%, I believe.
Nice. We're starting out light this morning.
Yeah.
I guess it's not still morning.
Yeah, it is 5.5%.
Nice. I like that they still put a 0 after it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a golden ale. It's about as I don't know how else to explain it. It's the younger sister of an
It's a
amber.
little. I think that's a glass. It's a little bit cloudy.
Slightly. It's got a chill haze to it.
Yeah.
Which is not horrible. But no, it's a little hazed, not bad. Color is, like I said, it's just like the Amber's younger sister.
Yeah. It smells.
Should be mostly malt.
Yeah, it's kind of malty. It's
Yep.
got almost like a little bit of maybe it's just me, a little bit of that like wet dog smell, malty smell.
That's gonna be your hops, your danky hops.
This is my my learning about beer
Yes.
over our several years, right? I went to trivia the other night and Birdman was there, and he got a whole pitcher of a Hefeweizen, and it was hilarious when he ordered it because the waitress was like, "How many glasses?" And he's like, "Do I need a glass? I just want the pitcher." She was like, "So one? Are you anybody?" And I was like, "Yeah, bring two." Because I don't think they'll let you just drink a pitcher, right? Yeah, that's very frowned upon. But anyway, I went to drink the Hefeweizen. Tasted just like banana bread. It was really weird. Like not just like it, but it totally had banana bread notes. And
Well, a lot of the spices that they use are the same to spice it.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it was too.
Yeah.
Is it also the banana is from the yeast?
And yes, your banana esters. A lot of the esters that you get off the yeasts are banana in flavor.
Nice. So I knew that when I drank
and
it.
that's usually from a warmer ferment.
Well, it was very banana bready.
Yes, which is something they're usually going for, especially on the Belgian styles.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. But right away when I tasted it, I was like, wow, this is banana bready, and I think it has something to do with the yeast. Something, at least. I was kind of in the ballpark.
Yes, you were.
Okay.
You were very close in the ballpark.
It's like,
man.
Can I do one of these?
Oh, jeez.
Here, I'm going to wipe it off on my jeans because they've already got like a pizza stain or something on them I discovered this morning.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
All right. Back to business.
so yes, you were in the ballpark.
Thank you.
Wasn't a home run. We'll give it a second base, almost there, but you had to run back to second.
Okay. Got to tag up.
Yeah, not tag up, but they made the throw to third right before you got there, so you had to run back.
Okay. All right. I tried though.
Yeah. Third base coach had your back on that one.
All right. So. Should we do it?
Sure.
To all the nerds.
Through all the fuzz.
Bottoms up. Let's get Nerdbuzzed. Wait. I think, did it work? I can't tell if it worked.
So, it's got a fairly light mouthfeel. It's very malty in flavor. Has kind of a sweet hint, but not real strong sweet to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty clean. The hops are there for the bittering, and I think they've done well. There's not a whole lot of hop flavors. There's a little bit of spiciness to the hops, though.
The whole beer, yeah, it just kind of has a little bit of a spiciness to it.
Yeah, and that's going to come from your hops. Not sure which hops are using.
It's funny that he hit start.
Yeah, I can do that.
It's funny that that it's so malty though, because I think people generally associate that with a dark beer. darker than
no.
a golden. You think? No.
Not necessarily. I mean, any of your lighter flavored beers, and as far as uh, uh, pale ales and pilsners are almost all malt. I mean, it's just
Now I'm back at first base.
yeah. But no, but I'm saying it's like those are your all malty beers. But when you get into like the heavier mouthfeel and really thick, rich flavors, rich malt flavors that really come out, your winter ales or something that just really that's something that they boast on them. Your tripels are super heavy in the malts, malt flavor.
I had a Milwaukee's Best the other day because my dad was in the store.
Yeah.
This is terrible. My dad was in the store and he's like, I got a 30-pack for whatever it was. It's like $15. It's like, that's 50 cents a beer.
He was back in high school.
Yeah, that's what I said. Dad, don't be that guy. You're one of the people that like turned me on to real beer. Please don't go back. And plus, when I hang out at work, after work with you, I'm going to have to drink your crap beer now. But
you will.
Oh, I had one. Yeah, Milwaukee's Best Ice, right?
Yeah.
Because it's got more, it's 5.9, right? I think at 5, something like that, 5 something.
Yeah.
But I was actually really surprised at how sweet it was.
Oh, yeah.
Super sweet. I told my dad that, and he was like, "It is?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's why you like it. He likes really, really sweet beers." Yeah, it's not very good. It tastes like a cheap beer, but sweet.
Oh, okay. So your old Rasputin is super sweet.
Yeah, but
it's really thick.
That's more like
It's like drinking cake.
Yeah, and it's got like a richness to it, right?
Yeah.
This is almost like sicky sweet.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it doesn't have that body to it or any other richness.
What was it? The Colt 45 or whatever that episode was that we did that on?
Yeah,
We ran into that same issue with that. That was just that really sweet, sicky sweet.
yeah. That wasn't. Even that was better though.
It was actually.
Yeah, that was still better. This just wasn't good. It's not. Come on, Milwaukee. You can do better than that. It's not your best. It's false advertising.
Oh my god. I like Eric's response to that though.
Yeah, just the barfy face.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, if you want me to barf that back up, then yeah, we'll drink it on the show.
Yeah.
It might make for an entertaining show.
It could very well.
Next time you come back, Eric, we are going to have Milwaukee's Best just for you.
Oh my god.
We're not going to drink it.
He will have
yeah,
for you.
we
He
won't
will
drink
have
it.
for you.
It'll be for him. Yeah, just for him. That's 100,000,000% a joke because I would never do that to anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Well, unless they ask
Even
for
if
it.
somebody said, "Do you have any beer?" and that's all I had, I'd say no, but I have some Milwaukee's Best.
It's still beer.
Okay.
It still is by definition beer. Not good beer, but it's
Yeah,
beer.
that really, I could tell by the look on your face. You really struggled to get that out.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this
still-
episode, what was
I
that?
was like, if you want to get into the malts though, the malt profiles and the yeast profiles,
Yes.
I really think we should go down the lager route. Because that's where a lot of your yeast profiles and stuff really come out into play a lot, and then that's also where malt's showcased. Malt is just really showcased in the lagers. Your traditional lagers are what you're thinking of, type lagers.
Like a Budweiser?
No. What Budweiser aspired to be or what originated from
Yeah. So
before it got.
what's like a
Bastards.
lager that I've drank? That's like a real, like any kind of, no, not an amber. Like what's a,
No, anything that doesn't say ale.
oh, yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah, but
Which is like 90% of what I drink. is
well,
an
yeah,
ale.
but the ales have taken over, and ales are the easiest ones to make.
Huh.
Lagers are a slower ferment and a colder ferment, so you have to have its temperatures are critical. So, yeah, a lot of little things on that. Any of your European beers, though, not any of them, but most of your European beers are going to be lagers.
Like your Heinekens?
I'm
Your
not
Rolling
talking-
Rocks? Is Rolling Rock European?
No, I'm not talking about any of your mainstream. You can go buy a 30 or 18 pack
Yeah.
beers. Okay?
Are those lagers though?
Those are lagers. They are
Okay.
using lager yeast.
Are we using lager on those in as loose a sense of term as we were calling them?
No.
beer?
Okay, no. Those are traditional lagers. Those are as pale, clear, and close to water as you can get in a beer.
Which is a trait that you want to give to lager?
Well, that's the trait that has become lager in everybody's mind.
It's totally what I think of.
Exactly. But if you go into a lot of your European styles, and we actually have the little Polska shop down there,
The sausage shop.
sausage, yeah,
Yeah.
they actually bring in a lot of the European lagers, import them there, and they're going to be a lot richer in the malt profiles and a lot heavier in the flavor department.
Do you
for
think
beer.
that also has to do with because a lot of those cheap beers, I think that a lot of them are striving for like a light, like calorie count and quality to them also, why they're so light and just don't have any flavor.
Okay, anybody who's watching calories while making a beer is not.
They're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, your finished product and flavor, the flavor profile of your finished product is what should be number one.
Yeah.
And if you're drinking beer, you're not watching calories.
No, right? Yeah, that's totally true. So, what episode are we on? 119.
Yeah.
And before we dive into it, because we like to promote our favorite podcasts, and this is one of our favorite podcasts.
It is.
So please, go to our Facebook, Nerdbuzzed, go to our Twitter, that's also Nerdbuzzed, at Nerdbuzzed, and go to Patreon, where you can throw some money at us, $30 to get you a sweet swag bag, where you get a t-shirt, stickers, magnet. We'll even sign this shirt for you if you want. Jay will. Not Jack. Don't worry. We won't have Jack sign it if he ever shows up again.
We'll get Jack to draw a picture for you.
On the back.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have him draw a picture on one of mine now. And we'll still do Fan of the Month. If you respond with something that we like, even if we don't like it, but we appreciate the creativity that you respond with, or something that catches our attention.
If you engage us.
Yes, then you get a free swag bag. So do that. Comment. Tell us how we're doing. We love to hear from people. It really is like the super biggest motivator.
Yeah,
And
even we don't, we still love it.
Yeah, right. It's totally true. It's like it's the biggest fuel you could throw on the nerd fire here. Yep. And as much as we love the Pints and Pants Stupid Mystic Forest guys, you've already won. So, but please keep commenting. We love you.
Yes.
So on to the theme of this episode. We're going to talk about, let me find it. It's right here. Right here. Boom.
Oh.
We're going to talk about Superman because next week, which is this week, the week it comes out.
Yes.
It's issue number 1000 of Action Comics, and it's a big deal for Superman. I'm not aware of any other 1000th issue.
I don't know of any, but I'm not into comics like you are, so I don't follow it.
But yeah, more recently I've definitely been way into comics. I don't necessarily collect Superman, but he was definitely one of my gateway superheroes.
Okay.
Would you say so for you?
Well, okay, yes, in its fact is the live action stuff.
Yeah, I wrote it down
Chris
here.
Reeves.
Yeah, the 78 Superman, Chris Reeves. We both said #1 origin movie of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hands down. Watched the crap out of that movie. Watched it. I ruined a legit VHS. I ruined a home recorded VHS. Watched the crap out of that.
Yep.
So we can hands down check off one of my questions, which is, what's the best Superman movie? There you go, right?
Exactly.
And who plays the best Superman? I'm still going to give it to Christopher Reeves.
Yes.
I have kind of grown to love, not love, but not hate nearly as much this new Calvo guy, right? He's not as bad as I initially felt about him. I've actually watched Justice League like 3 times now since it came out, and I really don't hate that movie.
We didn't hate Justice League.
No, but I like it more than even when we first saw it in the theater.
Okay.
And one of my favorite people in it is the Superman. That scene when he comes back to life and he's just like taking out everybody in the league is so cool, because that's just how it would be, right? Like that's just the point of Superman. He's the ultimate overpowered. Just give him every power in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
uses
uses them all.
And he still doesn't even know the extent of his power.
No, not at all.
So.
And it's also weird that he only has power on Earth, right? Or at least with a yellow sun.
What guys? The other guy, the guys that do because they touched on that in the Superman versus Goku video.
Did he can get power from something else?
Different suns affect his power in different ways.
I guess that would make
purple
sense.
suns, blue suns.
So did they touch on one that gives him more power than the yellow sun?
I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, there's another one that really amped his power like immensely.
Huh? Is that why he beat Goku?
No. No, Goku threw him directly into the sun.
and which ultra amped him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then the second time they revisited it, they started it, he laser eyed Goku through the head, and it was done.
Oh. Yeah, that might do it. Yeah.
Done.
So first, because I like to give everybody a little bit of history on our main topic stuff, he was created by Jerry Siegel and artist Joe Shuster in 1933. And it wasn't until 1938 that Detective Comics, now DC Comics, took over Superman and actually brought him in and started publishing him. And he actually, they created him in high school, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh, nice, okay.
For their local school little comic that they'd made. Was not the Superman that we know it all today. He had like psychic powers and was like this weird, didn't have the S or anything like Superman, was just called that. And then slowly over the years they kept changing him to try to like get people to catch on and like him. And it wasn't until they finally ended up like working with DC and getting all that set in stone that we have the Superman that we know today. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It took years before that actually happened, but he was always an idea of theirs, and they actually split up too. Like they got pissed off at each other because it didn't go anywhere. And Siegel tried to bring in other artists because he was like, well, maybe it's the art. He probably sucks at drawing, right? So he brings in other artists, and it still didn't take off. Then they like got all pissed. They reconciled, and then finally it came back around.
Is this like a left Twix factory and a right Twix factory?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally, right? And then they realized, put them in a package together, package deal, right? So I actually thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't really know anything about that. And I think that when DC, they still get credit for Superman, but back then when they were dealing with comics and superheroes, the publishing company basically owned your hero, right? Like I think DC just owns them. They don't really have any say. You know, they wouldn't get to retain any say over what really goes on with them. I think they had influence because they kept writing and doing stories. But this next week on the 18th, we get Action Comics 1000, and it's going to be $7.99, but it's an 80-page big oversized issue.
Nice, okay. And that's about double price now, right?
Yeah, comics typically run. It depends on the comic. If it's like a monthly comic, it's $3.99. If it's a every other week comic, it's $2.99.
Oh, okay.
And which the only ones that are every other week are like typically your Marvel and your DC, like your major titles, right?
Yeah.
They have enough people buying them to where they can do that. Anything that's outside of that is usually at least $3.99. If it's got a fancy cover, it's like another $1.
Could you imagine Could you imagine the schedule you'd have to keep a weekly serialized comic going, or even bi-weekly serialized comic going?
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah, you're cranking them out.
That's nuts.
Well, and the other thing I've noticed too, though, with those particular comics that are every other week, they do have more ads in them. So I don't know if they have the same page count. I haven't like gone through and counted them.
Yeah.
But like a monthly comic, typically will just have ads at the beginning and the end, whereas your bi-weeklies will have them kind of sprinkled throughout. Yeah. So maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off them. But like this new.
Go ahead.
I was going to say this new Batman series that's the bi-weekly one. It's one of my all-time favorite series that I've really, really latched onto. I know it's not Superman, but it's fine. The ads are fine in it. It's $1 cheaper, right? Like, so I'm okay with all that. And even then, when you sometimes pay $4.99 for one, the $1 more, and it has no ads and like a sweet cover that's like really nice and thick or something to it, I'm also totally cool with that. I would pay an extra $1 to not have
for
ads.
Quality.
Yeah. It's like having like a streaming service where if they charge me a buck or two more a month, I would pay it to not have ads.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right, unless it's Hulu where you still get ads, even though you pay for no ads.
Yeah, but the benefit of Hulu is you get the current stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Well, and you can do like the Hulu pay plan where you're not supposed to get ads.
You still get ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I think it has to be like Hulu sanctioned stuff or made by Hulu or whatever, right?
Like that,
yeah. There's only a limited amount. But it's going to be a comic that has a bunch of different artists that do like little short stories in it.
Oh, nice.
Which is kind of cool. Different artists, different writers.
I actually really appreciate those compilation stuff like that.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Totally. Me too. Well, you know me. I'm a fan of like short and sweet. Right. I would rather it didn't just go on forever and we just got the best of it and then it's okay to wrap it up. Right. And I like getting the different perspectives on the heroes from the different artists. There will also be an original, unreleased, quote, lost story by Siegel and Schuster.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that nobody's ever seen before.
Cool.
So I get to see that.
I haven't seen it because I haven't read any of those.
Any of the old ones? Yeah. I want to say my first comic, Superman comic, I probably read, man, I bet it's probably like around when I could read. So I don't even know when that is. Like 8, 9, 7, something like that.
I can't.
I hate reading, and I've always hated reading, but comics turned me on to reading. If it wasn't for comics, I might be like totally illiterate today.
So the only DC comic I ever read was the JLA one.
Mm.
And I don't even remember what the heck it was covering. I remember the center page fold out full spread sheet
Awesome.
of the Justice League Hall of Justice.
Yeah,
And
with all the Justice League dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's like the only thing I remember in it.
yeah. I like. I didn't really have. There was Super Friends. Do you ever watch that show?
Super Friends.
I want to say it was like 70s cartoon, maybe early 80s.
Maybe.
It had the Justice Hall League and everything. It was the Justice League, basically.
Oh, okay.
Super Friends, right? And had all the classic guys in it. I used to watch crap out of that. Yeah, other than that, I only had a handful of comics.
Yeah, I want to say as far as the comics went, that's the only thing one was in the whole Justice League. So.
Yeah. One of the biggest news about this one, which I'm actually stoked for because, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, red trunks are back. They're going to
Really?
find some way to where he's going to wear them again. I don't think it's just for this issue. I think he's going to wear red trunks again. At least for a little while. Till this artist and writer that are taking over for a while are done, probably, or whatever,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of what they do. I'm stoked about it. I think it's awesome. What do you think? Does it matter at all?
Not really.
Not really. I think he looks weird with just the full blue unitard. I like the red to break it up.
Just to break it. I can see that. Yeah.
It kind of breaks it up a little bit. One question though: do you think if he wears the underwear on the outside, he still wears underwear on the inside?
Yes.
He does.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Totally.
I bet he probably has to because the Superman skid mark is like no other skid mark, right?
Oh my god.
Because
I'm
everything
sure-
about
I'm sure-
Superman is super.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Oh my god.
And everybody knows, right? They're all hanging out in the Hall of Justice, just like, dude, Supes. Maybe that's why they went to the inside.
Wow.
He had to change them.
Oh.
Do you think they're red on the inside? You've never thought this much about Superman's underwear?
I have never thought this much about Superman ever.
His underwear in particular? Do you think... let's keep it in the realm of underwear. Do you think if...
Okay,
Yeah.
here we
Do you
go.
think if Superman farts, it's just, like, brutal?
Of course.
Do you think he's used that power on the field? Where, like, he's being attacked by a swarm of dudes and he's just, like, spent, but he just, like, squeaks one out and they all pass out? The Justice League's just like, what the hell? I took care of it. It's cool, guys. You might not want to come over here, but it's taken care of. Just, like, blows it away real quick. I bet
somebody drives by, flicks a cigarette out the window, and half the world blows away.
Yeah, right. I was thinking that too. I was thinking it's got to like turn up the heat too, right? It comes out hot, hot and stinky, dude.
His underwear's made of kale wool.
Yeah, that would suck, dude. Although I guess he's got impervious skin. It's not like he'd get little slivers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. He still melts it though. Yeah.
3,100 degrees of protection. Fahrenheit. Yeah. Still melts it.
Oh, I bet he does. He has right farts, dude. He's got to. He doesn't eat Mexican food. Probably not like Indian food. Nothing that's gonna just like make that super toxic down there.
Wow, you went way too far into this.
Yeah, that's why I think he does.
So
He always wears underwear under his underwear. He doubles down on it. Maybe. Nah, I'd probably kill him.
What?
Can he wear like kryptonite lined underwear? If there's just a little bit?
No.
No, just one speck will kill him.
I
Or
don't know.
not kill him, but it'll like put him down.
We can, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know? I found this out while researching. Do you know where kryptonite came from? Why they made kryptonite? It was not original. It was not created by Siegel or Schuster.
Probably because they had to have some weakness. They probably just needed a weakness of some sort.
the real reason why it ever came up was because of the old radio serial show.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was
You mentioned
live.
this before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a live
Yeah,
weekly
yeah.
recorded show. The dude didn't want to do it every week, and he wanted a vacation. So the writers were like, I don't know, Super. What do we
It's his
do to
kryptonite.
take him out of commission, right? So they came up with kryptonite, and for those like couple weeks, it would be like guest stars that would come in to be like other heroes.
Yeah.
And Superman was like in a kryptonite cage, so they had another voice actor come in and just like moan and groan on like episodes as Superman in the cage. That was it. So the one dude could take time off. That's the whole reason kryptonite ever even came into play.
Serialized radio.
Yeah.
Speaking of serialized radio, Art Bell died.
Oh, shame on me. Who's Art Bell?
Coast to Coast AM.
I don't know. What's that?
All the supernatural stuff, and he used to have the Art Bell radio show, the Coast to Coast is what it was called, and that was like,
I've never listened to this.
you've never listened to it?
No.
Oh, it's all about paranormal and aliens or whatever, and just theories and all that, and discussing it, and how they even how MRIs affect people and everything else. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was. I can't believe you've never heard
Never
of this.
heard of it.
You seriously? I'm sure you've heard it, and
I probably have heard it, and I
and-
just
and-
didn't know what I was listening
exactly.
to. Was it?
It's still going. They've got a different host going on it because he stopped doing it for a while. But
Like, would it have been old enough to where like my parents maybe listened to it in the car, and I got to hear it there?
well, I listened to it because I was working. Excuse me, night shift. It was late.
Because my parents used to listen to like, was it like a theater show?
No,
Like people would play different roles. It was like a talk show.
It was just a call-in talk show, but
Huh.
it was closest you got to a serialized thing for me. Anyway, I mean, I did do the late night serialized radio broadcast, but it was replays of original serialized radio that I used to listen to.
My
Classic theater stuff, you know.
yeah. My parents used to listen to at night. It was like Twilight Zone, but for the radio, I guess.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
these different voice actors that come in and they do their story of whatever, and then it would be over. It wouldn't like continue the next week. It'd be a different story. But I can't remember at all what it was called. But that was one that we used to listen to, and I remember some of them creeped me out.
Oh yeah,
They were just weird.
I listened to something like that. I can't remember what it was, but definitely did.
So what was this other one? Because now I'm gonna check it
It was
out.
Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
Coast to Coast AM. All right, I'll check it
It's
out.
still going now. The new host I don't like nearly as well as.
There's a
Art Bell was-
transition period. How long has it been?
Oh, it's been years.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
hasn't-
it's done. You just don't like it then. There's no saving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say anything I've listened to when a new host comes in, it usually
Well,
takes a little bit.
the new host is more politically minded and talks more political stuff.
Oh.
And he's like, I don't like to talk political, but he always ends up talking political. Yeah. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's not that I don't disagree or agree with him. It's just I don't want to listen to that. That's not what I was listening to the show for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was listening to the show for the person that was obviously crazy and high on drugs. You know, and the thing about Art Bell is this person would call in. Art knows he's crazy and not talking about some real experience that happened to him or believes happened to him.
Yeah.
But this guy that's high honestly believes it happened to him.
The guy calling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Art Bell totally rolls with it, lets him go through it, gives him I mean, he treated everybody respectfully regardless. It's kind of cool.
Huh.
You know,
Check it out.
He would go off on pixel people though, like so that like the Loch Ness monster pictures or the Sasquatch pictures and stuff. Well, you know that's fake because it's this and this and this, and if you zoom in X million down, thousand times, it's like I don't care. There's enough of a history. There's enough of this. Something has to exist. There has to be a source and a reason for these people believing this. What is it? You know, so
They're crazy.
yeah. Well, that might be it. But he was totally the person that was like,
It's the same reason aliens only ever land in the crazy farmer field. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Never anybody reputable.
no, but no. But I'm saying, but he always was the person that was like open to, hey, it could exist, and let's explore why. You know, not just a straight. Woohoo.
That would be super.
But
trippy.
he always entertained those people and let them get their stuff out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. I don't know. It was interesting to listen to.
I think
It was the same reason you listened to what was it? The freaking Love Line.
Oh yeah.
You know that crazy ex-girlfriend that always called in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same reason you listen to that.
Yeah. With did they do that at the same time as the Man Show? Because that's what he went into.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe it was airing at the same time. That's my biggest Adam Carolla thing is the Man Show.
Yeah.
And Kimmel. Him and Kimmel did it at the time. Yeah. That was when it was good. Then they changed hosts and it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rogan took it over. It was not his best thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did Rogan take it over?
I think Rogan and then some other random dude that I didn't know.
Really? I like Rogan though. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was okay. He's he can be abrasive.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Very abrasive.
It took away from this because Kimmel and I already forgot his name.
Yeah, anyway.
The high pitch, whatever guy.
Yeah.
They had this way more playfulness to it, and then the other guys took over. It was a little too serious. It sounds a lot like the Coast to Coast kind of thing, right? Yeah. It's tough when they change hosts. That'll be weird when it happens here. Whoever inherits the show.
Oh God, when Jack takes over, oh my God.
I feel bad for everybody.
I know.
Love you, Jack.
Yeah.
I love giving Jack a hard time.
Yes.
So Kryptonite. Do you know the one other weakness Superman has? Did you cheat and look? I wrote it here.
No. Let's see here.
He only has one other weakness.
Kryptonite.
Not Lois Lane. Not humanity.
Oh, being removed from the sun. The yellow sun.
That's not it. But yeah, I'll give it to you. That would make him weaker, right? A red sun would make him weak.
Yeah.
Magic. Magic is the only other thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. They used to come up with, and I don't know when that happened, that he fought somebody magical and realized he can't defeat magic, right? But there was this big, there was a long
magic
run.
Magic defies logic.
Yeah, I get, right? Because Superman has super logic. He can't handle it. That's he's just super. That's his weakness, right? I really think it does boil down to Superman's biggest weakness, as far as just relevancy in the superhero world, is that he doesn't have a weakness, right? He's got those two things. It's kind of like Aquaman, where we're always going to do something to the ocean, so Aquaman has something to do, right? Destroy the whatever thing that's coming in the ocean. Aquaman will take care of it. Superman's the same way. It's like he can do anything, so bring in some kryptonite and throw that at him, and he'll deal with that for 2 weeks while the guy's on vacation, and everybody else will run the show for a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. I remember, I think it wasn't, when I was a kid, you used to always pretend to be superheroes. At least I did. Right?
Yeah,
When I'd hang out with my friends. I could be this guy, I would be this guy. You can't have all the powers, whatever, I'm Superman, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd always want to be Superman, because you could do everything. And then I remember it wasn't until, X-Men came into the play, and you had to pick which X-Men you wanted to pretend to be when you're hanging out with your friends, and because they all had distinctly different powers, right?
No wonder the South Park games are so close to home for you.
Oh, probably. Yeah, right? Totally. But I was totally that kid who was like, no, you can't have all the power. Nobody gets to pick Superman because it's cheating. And he's totally that way. But I think, that must have been the big... I think we owe Superman a lot for getting that lesson out of the way. Right? Just have the gold standard there. He can do everything in the world. He's the super Boy Scout with every power. He can never die, which is the ultimate symbol of that. And it's kind of crappy. It kind of sucks, because what's he supposed to do?
Boring.
Nothing can hurt him. Yeah, it's super cool if you're Superman, but it's not cool for anybody else, right? So I definitely struggled with that. I remember that realization that every power in the world isn't cool, right? You need some sort of a counter power, something that can counteract it. I guess the biggest. Do you have are you aware of a favorite Superman villain?
Oh, his favorite Superman villain? Only two that I'm really, really up on are Lex Luthor and Doomsday. I mean,
they sit way up here
on
my list of Superman villains. Yeah, no, the solid, good call. Yes. Lex Luthor again because of the Christopher Reeves movie. Big fan. What was his name? I've already forgot. People are gonna hate me. I always want to say it's Jeff Bridges, but it's not Jeff Bridges.
No.
It's
No,
it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
But he was an awesome.
Yeah, I know who it is.
How many people are screaming at us?
I
Do you
know.
think Mick is screaming at us?
Oh,
It's
I know.
Jam! It's Jam!
Okay, to be clear, I'm gonna be the first person to tell you, I love movies, I love music, I love all this stuff. I am the worst person in remembering a name, or a song, or a movie, or an actor, or I watch it for the content. I don't listen to it for the content. I don't listen to it for who's doing it. You know what I'm
Can't
saying?
remember his name either. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, I know. I got his face like
It's right on the
perfectly
tip of my tongue.
in my head. He played a villain in so many different movies too. He did it really well. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet.
Talk about something. No
Oh
dead
my
air.
god! I know. I just. Why am I not?
My Wi-Fi's going too fast.
Your Wi-Fi is going too fast. What a problem to have.
There it is. Damn it! I was so close. I knew who it was. I'll give it to you. You can't read it from there. It's
No.
Gene Hackman.
Yes.
Gene Hackman.
Yes,
He was awesome.
he was.
I really liked him as Lex Luthor. I think my runner-up, because again he's nostalgic, I'm a sucker for it. My runner-up after Gene Hackman is, and I don't know his name at all, but the guy from Smallville. He's the best part of Smallville.
I haven't seen Smallville.
Haven't watched any of it.
I watched like one episode.
I really think until he gets out of high school, it's actually kind of cool. He slowly like discovers he has the powers as he like hits puberty. It's like an X-Man, right?
Okay.
Where it starts to happen, he can like suddenly see through things and it trips him out, or he hears things like it's too intense, or all these different powers start kicking in, right?
Just to be clear though, Christopher Reeve was helping change tires at like 6 months old.
That's true, right? Well, and he was already fast. I think in the first episode he can like run quick. He just like misses. It's the classic Superman where he like misses the bus and then races to school, right? I think that happens right away in Smallville.
Oh, okay.
He can run. He's super strong. He has like basics, but he can't like he can't fly. He can't hear. He can't see through things. Like the all the other abundancy of powers that he has start to fall into play throughout the show. And his heat vision is like when he...
That didn't happen until the Crystal Castle, but...
What?
The Crystal Chamber, whatever.
Oh, the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, Fortress of Solitude, yeah.
Yeah, with its crystals. What a weird fortress, right?
I
It's like this Barbie ice princess fortress that he's got up there. In the Smallville, his first time his heat vision comes on is when he gets all like
Angry?
hot and heavy. No, he gets all hot and heavy for a chick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he gets like he can't control. He's like, oh, look at her, and all of a sudden starts firing beams. Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty funny. I actually really like.
No more dotted
like
lines.
season
It's
3 or 4.
Straight to it.
Yeah. Then
Peripherals,
it gets
dude.
weird.
Peripherals.
It's not good. Yeah. Quit it, dude. What else did I have here? Talking about him way overpowered. He's definitely the like ultimate symbol for peace, right?
Yes.
Which I do think is it's kind of cool and interesting that he is that for Earth when he's not even an Earthling.
Yeah.
Right? He's representing, but again,
But that's just-
if he
that's
wasn't
just-
here, he wouldn't have the powers,
True.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
he
what-
would be a normal person on Krypton.
Yeah, and now, except now it makes him sick, which I always thought was kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
why? Because Kryptonite was on Krypton, right?
What was it? Wasn't Kryptonite the core of Krypton? Wasn't that the planet's core?
Oh yeah, it might have been. It was on. It was part of Krypton though.
Yeah.
Like Kryptonite comes from Krypton,
Yeah.
and it didn't kill anybody there. So I don't. Is it just because he's acclimated to Earth? That's what
Maybe.
it is. I don't know
Probably.
either. Is it like being in space and like you can like everything's light and you can run around and move around, but then you come back to Earth and all of a sudden it
Or is
kills
it?
you?
Or is it kind of like if we go to Mexico, we can't drink the water, but the locals can?
I bet that's it. Perfect analogy. Mexican water is totally our kryptonite.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't drink the water. Do you think that happened to Superman too? Probably, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for it's like the entirety of everything, every sense in the word, but whatever.
Yeah.
All of his senses.
All of them super powered. Not until he's a teenager though, and I know because I watched Smallville.
Okay.
Throw me the opener.
I'll hand it to you.
I think
The invisible opener.
yeah, right. Can't see it. Watch magic. Oh, you can see it a little bit.
You can see the glare off of it.
Yeah. I have to give major props to Superman. I think just because he created that gold standard for superheroes, and he really, again, he got the overpowered thing out of the way. I think there's still lots of overpowered superheroes, but he kind of set that standard. He created the standard for the mainstream superhero we know today, which I'm a sucker for. So big props to Superman.
And I gotta say, Grab USA. Thank you, Aunt Sharon. Awesome, love it. Sorry,
it is a pretty good one. So I think because the internet is all over, who can beat up Superman, right? Or who can't? I think before we close out on some Superman stuff,
Goku would win.
Goku would win.
I'm sorry.
First one that's always come up, and it's actually come up in the comics, and they have never like definitively resolved it. Who's faster, Superman or the Flash? And why? You got to follow it up with a why, right? You have to.
I think the Flash just simply because he can dimensionally travel.
Oh, yeah, is that cheating? But Superman can fly, right?
Superman can fly, and he can turn back time, but he can't dimensionally travel, can he?
No.
Yeah, so the Flash can dimensionally
because
travel.
I think that all has to do with the Speed Force. And Superman can't tap into the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, if they can totally go balls out with all their powers, yes, Flash has to win. He just, he just warps.
Yeah.
He could just go through time, like the 2 seconds it would take both of them to get to the end, and just be there, waiting.
Well, it could take him an hour to get there, but it only took, a tenth of a second.
Yeah, as far as we all know, and
exactly.
Superman knows.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. Yes, I think Flash would win. Do they have to both run?
Yes, they would have to both be on land, and they'd have to run.
They can't. Superman can't fly. He can never go into a plane and fly.
Nope. Has to be apples to apples.
Apples to apples. So then, what if Flash can't do the dimensional travel? That's kind of like taking flying out of it, right?
Yeah. I'm still gonna have to go with Flash on that one.
You think so? He has the more experience running.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right? Superman. I'm pretty sure Superman floats everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not?
He does in every video game.
Yeah. He never touches the ground, right? Flash is always on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, he touches the ground when he punches. You watch him; he'll be like that, and he'll drop. And then
Is that to get the full impact?
probably.
Yeah.
He'll-
It's
he'll-
because
he'll
it starts
drop.
at the feet.
And then once if you do the combos, it's usually like a punch, and then he'll fly and do the flying uppercut.
Yeah. He probably learned that from when he fought Muhammad Ali.
Oh, probably.
He did that in the comics. He also drank beer in the comics, which is another reason
Yes,
why
with
we
his
love
dad.
Superman. Yeah. And he got a bunch of flack for it, and they had to change it, right?
They did, and then they brought it back.
Good.
Yes.
That's a big props to Superman, though.
Yep.
Because we also like beer.
Holly,
how
knock
much
it off.
beer do you think Superman has to drink to get drunk? Do you think he can get
I
drunk?
don't think you can.
That they talk about that in the Smallville, and he said he couldn't.
Okay, yeah. I just no.
He couldn't do it.
It's kind of that's got to be totally Ghost in the Shell style. We can just dip them back all day long, and the process them faster than we can drink them.
Yeah, I would think so. Although he could drink pretty quick.
Well, yeah.
Like, what if he just had this massive, like, tanker truck, and he just, like, picked that thing up and started chugging, yeah.
Pops the lid.
Right?
That's the ultimate.
Maybe he might do that and, like, stumble a little bit, and then go, well, nothing, but I gotta pee.
Ooh. Okay.
And then we all get out of the way when he pees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it-
right? It just destroys urinals.
The ice caps on Mount Rainier are gone.
Yeah. Okay, so the other classic.
Mount Rainier's steaming.
Yeah. And there's just this silhouette. Because he doesn't touch anything. No. Why would you? You're outside. You can't pee inside. It's the best thing about peeing outside. You just let it go.
It's like a laser beam.
Like
itself.
Superman. Yeah. It probably does it. It goes, whoa, when it comes out. Yeah. And it does just steam. Yes. Doesn't even matter if it's cold outside. Always steams. Yeah. How about Superman versus Batman?
Well,
This is a classic debate. They made that whole god-awful movie about it. That movie's so much worse than Justice League.
it is. It is awful. In the comic, Batman does not legitimately beat Superman. He knocks him down, but doesn't actually truly beat him.
Yeah, well, he kind of cheat. He kind of tag teams him with
Okay.
Green Arrow,
Yes.
right? Well, in that comic. There's some other comics that they fight in, too. But I think it's the same kind of thing where it's like, something comes up to interrupt it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're never going to definitively say.
No. in a straight up fight, dude, there's no way Batman would even touch him.
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
But would Superman ever fight him in a straight up fight? Would Superman ever fight anybody and not hold back?
no.
I imagine Superman's always holding back.
Even on people that are trying to destroy the Earth, I'm sure he's holding back,
Yeah,
with
right.
the exception of Doomsday. But
Yeah, which was a pretty sweet fight.
it was.
I remember that's the first time I saw Superman like actually bleed in a comic, and it was super cool. I was way into it.
Yeah.
I think if you take moral stuff out of it, yeah, hands down, right? It's like the I-beam thing. Just Batman's dead. Like that's as fast as it is. It's like one of my favorite parts in that Justice League battle where they're all fighting him from the new movie is when Wonder Woman looks at him. He's like, "Don't make me do this, Clark," and she goes to like clang her, which is this. I've never seen her do that in the comics, but she goes to clang her arm things together, and Superman's just like there in an instant and has her hands and gives her the like evil look, like she wasn't even fast enough to clank her arm things. He would be that fast and just rip Batman's head off, or just I-beam him, right?
Yeah.
Probably he could just yell or like clap his hand and like would knock him. Just right, just anything.
Yep.
But I think if you keep his moral compass in check, I do kind of think Batman would win because Batman's moral compass is not nearly as rigid, right?
Batman doesn't kill, except for he does now. So
Yeah, he would at least take him. He would totally have kryptonite everything.
oh yeah,
Like that would be. I can't remember the animated movie, but that's one of my all-time favorite Batman lines when he tells Superman because he has like a gun with kryptonite bullets ready to shoot Superman when he goes out of control.
why do you have that? I got one thing for everybody.
Yeah, and he's like, I have a contingency plan for everyone, and
Yeah.
Superman's like, I don't have one for you, and he goes, well, you're a fool,
Exactly.
right? He just straight up tells him, he's like, I'm a nutso in a bat suit, I can flip my ultra nut switch, and you might need one, right? I will take out all my contingency plans,
Yeah.
all my doomsday weapons, and take out the whole league. So I think because of that, straight up fight, I give it to Batman. Because I think he would come in dirty.
Oh well, yeah.
Right? He'd totally fight dirty.
And there's no such thing as a dirty fight.
No, not for Batman.
No, I mean, a fight is a fight to win. And
Every fight Batman's in is a dirty fight. There's not a single fight where he's just like, all right, gloves off, belt down, everything down, let's do this, right? That doesn't happen.
I gotta leave the cow.
Yeah,
I
right?
gotta take the cow off. You can't know who I am.
Right.
And I gotta talk
Just
like
the
this.
cow. Just the cow, and both of them in their underwear,
Speedos.
in their outer underwear wear. Yeah.
The autos.
Yes. What about Superman versus Hulk? That's another classic one you see online.
So that's an interesting one because theoretically the Hulk can die, but as long as the Hulk's rage is increasing, which if he's getting hurt, his rage is going to continue increasing, his strength is going to increase to match.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's just the ultimate stalemate.
You think they just end at a stalemate?
I
Think,
just
is
think-
it like the Doomsday fight then? It's kind of like fighting Doomsday,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I think that just comes down to they will fight forever.
Yeah. They
As
both
long-
just stand there panting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. And again, it's the moral compass thing. Because again, the Hulk doesn't have that unless you bring stupid Betty into the scenario. That would be Superman's move, right? Whoosh, whoosh, back with Betty, just like, look, Banner. And he'd be like, oh, my heart, my
Yeah,
weak
exactly.
spot. Yeah. Of course, Hulk could do that with Lois, too.
Yeah.
I guess, right? It'd be more like just like Lois.
Yeah, but Hulk wouldn't think about it.
No. So, yeah, kind of stalemate on that one. I still think, though, I-beam to the brain,
Yeah.
dead, right?
Before there's any chance to react, just done.
Yeah. He could just do that. He could totally, who's that? Dr. Giroux from,
Oh, yeah.
right? He does that, and that's one of my favorite scenes in DBZ. He could do that. Like, if he went rogue, that would be awesome. Okay, so last, Superman versus Goku. You have to do it because it's all over the internet.
Okay, so the official consensus is Superman would win, basically on the aspect of the fact that his powers are unknown. They still have never.
Okay, but to be fair, Goku's powers are unknown also.
And I was going to say, but Goku is the ultimate overcomer.
Yeah.
That's what Goku does. Goku's power isn't how strong he is. Goku's power is the fact that he overcomes every adversity he's ever been given.
Yeah.
Even after death.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he will continue to fight you when he's dead. So technically, once you kill him, you're still fighting him.
Yeah. If not, he's off in the next dimension training for when he gets back to beat your ass again, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if Superman can do that.
No, I don't. Well, Superman doesn't die either. We've established that.
Because Superman's probably just like a Christian, right? So he just believes in like normal God. Yeah. And I don't know if normal God unless you're Jesus, I don't think you get to come back, right?
No.
So I think he's out on that one. Goku can just go back, and now that they have all the different balls, Dragon Balls, they can just wish him back over and over. He's kind of pretty much immortal.
Yeah, the Earth balls, the Mechian balls, and now the Super whatever universe ones.
How pissed is like Christian God that he didn't make Dragon Balls? Like, oh, dude, get on that.
That was in Universe 6.
Yeah.
I'm just in Universe 7.
Yeah. I even saw this this thing online where it was like this little comic strip, and it was Goku and Superman meeting each other, and they're like, well, why should we fight? You seem cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I saw that same
you're
one.
cool, right? And I was like, that's such a load. Like, Goku doesn't care if you're his friend or not. He wants to fight everybody. He loves to fight his friends,
yes.
Right? Like, Vegeta is one of his favorite people to fight, and they're basically best friends.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. Because they can't not be, right? That's how they both keep getting stronger. He would fight you just to fight you.
Yeah. There's a superiority inferiority complex going on there.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they exist.
Yes.
They would not be friends if they were truly equals.
But they would still fight all the time. You don't think they'd be friends?
I don't think they would be friends if they were truly equals.
Really?
Vegeta's always one step behind Goku, and that's what fuels his. That's what fuels the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean that
and the
right
jealous to be
Yes.
as strong,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I still think Goku would fight Superman. There's no just
Oh
being
no,
friends. Goku
yeah.
would totally fight Superman.
He'd at least be.
He might have to push Vegeta out of the way to get to him first, because I bet Vegeta also wants to fight Superman. Right?
You clown.
Yeah. But Goku would still fight him. Even on friendly terms, he would still go balls out and fight him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dragon
He
Balls
would.
out.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. It would totally be a setup. We know it's coming. It would not be a cheap shot.
Yeah. And even as much, because they're both the
Vegeta
super...
would cheap shot him to get it going.
Oh, hands down. Yes, easily. Which is why he's awesome. It's also why Batman's awesome, because he's cheap shotting everything. He's got something in his. I bet they work together, and I bet what those things are on Batman's belt are little capsule corp things. That's why he can hold so much crap on his belt, dude.
Dude,
they're totally in cahoots.
Totally did it. Yeah, that's it right there.
I made the connection.
Wow.
Everything's full circle now.
So
right?
the time machine and the interdimensional travel for Dragon Ball existed long before then. Before Trunks ever got hold of it then.
For what?
For the time machine and interdimensional travel.
So he could travel to Earth, whatever.
Capsule Corp. I mean, they've had it before Trunks ever had it then.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or that's irrelevant. It's a time travel thing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right? It could have came up whenever and gone back to
exactly.
whenever. So yeah, I think we're dealing with a timeline and a time machine. Everything's irrelevant at that point, right? Yeah.
X-Men have proven that.
Yes. None of it matters. Well, I'm gonna get the comic for sure. Maybe I will try to, like, in a couple weeks or whatever, on our show, I'll try to say whatever I think about it. I hope it's got a cool cover. I hope it's thick. I hope it doesn't have a bunch of ads. It's $8.
I bet you if it is $8 and it doesn't have all that, there's a $12 one that does.
That has all that doesn't have ads and all that stuff, and maybe has like a cool whatever cover on it.
I bet you they're going to have like this is the limited release one. You can buy the Star Wars Battlefront Ultra Edition.
Yeah, right, yeah. And then you can just play it and unlock those things in like 5 hours.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for doing the solve and like leaving me the codes.
Oh yeah, totally. Even though I already unlocked them all.
Yeah.
Well, let's do.
Which is not even on my system anymore.
No, mine either. And I got it for $7.50. I gotta keep telling you that.
I know you do.
Let's do a cheers to Superman, because I do like Superman.
Yeah,
and
Superman's
I
awesome.
Respect what he's done. to Superman.
Cheers.
Cheers. And I was totally late on that, I think.
Oh, wow.
If it even went, I think I gotta hit. Oh, there it went. What the hell took so long? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
It's Jack's fault. So let's wrap up the show with some Space Dandy. Wait, I have it here. More Superman. Boom. Space Dandy.
Space Dandy. He's a dandy in space.
Baby. Right?
Ooh.
Okay. What did you think of Space Dandy? This was recommended by Jack. Should we first say what Jack said? Do you have his message?
I got his message here. I'll bring it
All
up.
right, you look up his message. Jack recommended Space Dandy. I don't know where he heard about it. I do think a good side note about Jack recommending it is that Jack has been embarrassed about a lot of these other animes we've watched.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the amount of, sexual innuendo that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 100% Dandy's motivation is boobies.
Oh, totally.
No, that's not true.
No, it is.
I would say 30% of it is boobies, 70% is butt. Because he says that very clearly. He said a lot of guys make the mistake of always looking at the boobies, but women's butts are also really worth checking out.
Yes, but when you... Okay, this is getting ahead of it because of the ending.
Yeah.
But when you get to the ending and everything, because he says that at the very first episode, and then everything from then on is boobies.
Oh, okay. So I didn't really
And
consider
then at
that.
the very end is when he spoilers, he turns down God. He does not become God just so that he can keep doing the boobies.
Yeah.
And then when it goes back to the ship, he's like, the robot starts talking about boobies, and he's like, but you don't know about butt.
Yeah.
And it's just the complete opposite of what he said in the very beginning.
Yeah. That's true. Which I love. Thank you. That makes that ending even so much better. I'm actually a really big fan of how this show ended. That's awesome.
But anyway.
Okay, what did Jack say?
So Jack has to say, at first I did not like Space Dandy. But that was because I didn't really understand it. It's not like most anime. It's like serial American cartoons.
Totally
why
agree.
I love it.
completely agree with that statement.
When I came back to the show with that mindset, I really loved it and appreciate how well it blended the two. Blah, 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 blah. How well it blended the two. Don't go into this expecting 20 plus episodes of plot and filler, which it doesn't have. Every episode is its own thing.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
With the exception of the interaction between a couple characters, just because they seem to know each other more by that point, there's a little more familiarity.
Yes.
But nothing is really that rigid.
AKA the boobies waitress.
Yeah.
The alien registry chick.
Yeah.
And the doctor...
The
whatever.
gorilla guy.
Gorilla doctor
Yeah.
dude. With the...
I liked him.
With the bondage freaking Liberty...
The what?
The bondage statue of Liberty. Of,
Oh, yeah. For his ship.
For a ship,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so don't expect 20 episodes of filler, because that's not what you get. You get something equally as awesome. Solid 8.5 is what he's giving it.
I think that's a solid score.
Okay.
I want to touch on where he said it's like American cartoons.
Yes.
Because after watching, I want to say the first 3 or 4 episodes, immediately I thought, and I thought this more as I kept watching, if Hanna-Barbera made an anime, this would be their anime.
Oh, totally.
This, it has...
I don't think it would be quite as over the top as this is, but yes, it would be this.
It's got that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And I don't mean one specific Hanna-Barbera show. I mean just kind of the Hanna-Barbera library meshed into one show, right?
Which is what they did for this.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this, is because they paid homage to everything that is classic American cartoon.
Yeah, totally.
And every episode has it. The main character is it. I mean, the main character is totally the 50s greaser.
Yes, totally.
And his ship's got the total ape hangers, freaking controls. I mean, it's totally ripping everything American.
Yes.
And in such a great way, though.
When you have you totally have your your Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
You totally have your Jetsons episode, your Flintstones episode, your Wacky Races episode.
Yes.
You have all of these different...
I was just going to get into that, but yeah.
That kind of show that are all wrapped into this one show, and it's episodically,
Yes.
right? And I actually really, really enjoyed that. There were some that I was not as big of a fan of.
There were quite a few that I didn't care for,
Yeah.
but there was actually quite a few that I did care for.
Yeah,
And some of them, like the one, I didn't care for the one initially with the surfing one. Dude, the way they ended that that surfing montage, I'm like,
Yes.
dude, oh my god, that is so ridiculously stupid but cool at the same time.
Yeah, well, and you have to admit, like you were waiting for that though, right?
yeah,
I mean, even his ship is like the Aloha Oi, and like right,
Yeah.
like everything in there is like palm trees and like totally Hawaii in his ship. It's like
dude,
you're waiting for him to do that.
So the robot character, the transforming robot character that every ship in there is a transforming robot.
Yeah, it's
his-
awesome.
His transforming robot character is wearing a freaking Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
And at okay, I do gotta give it. So that one of my favorite episodes is the surfing episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where he's actually on the surfboard, riding out of the exploding planet, and totally like ooh, when he's doing it,
Yeah.
and just going on, and it's freaking awesome. And when they're going to rescue him, dude, they transform the robot. The robot flips on top of his ship and rides the ship exactly the same way. I'm like, oh my god,
They went there, right?
Yep.
I actually came away really enjoying it. Man, I think that people should check it out. Don't take it too seriously.
No, don't take it seriously.
Right, there's nothing to really be taken seriously about it. You don't need to watch every single episode. The only thing I would really say is wait till you've seen your fill and then watch the last episode.
I give it a little more than that, just so the last episode will make a little more sense.
Yeah.
In fact, watch the last 3 episodes.
To build up to that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the last episode makes a lot of references to the prior 2.
Yeah.
Specifically the trial and all that stuff.
Yeah. And even the surfing one and the car race or the space race one, and like it does reference a lot of that stuff.
Well, the space race one brought all of those aliens that were in the space race to that moment.
Yes.
And had all the transforming robot guys.
Yeah. I really like the animation. I do think the animation is pretty solidly done in the show. Again, it's that good. It's a tasteful balance of giving you that classic look, but with a new polish, right? It's not so heavily computer done and like rushed out episodes.
There's a lot of that to it, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like I think of some of the simpler shows, like the Fairy Tale is the worst one that I can think of that we've done. Okay. Like where it's so computer done. Even some of the like Dragon Ball Supers, right, where they're so you can tell that they've been mass produced and like rushed to just get this kind of that filler episode mentality, right? There really isn't one in there that that feels that way. Like none of them.
To be fair though, with the Super, you never get the stick figure episode that you got from Dragon Ball Z.
No, but
remember when they had that short period of time where everything was rushed, and they did like 5 filler episodes, and they went to the main episode, and then back to 5 more filler episodes, and those filler episodes, like remember how they did Vegeta? Vegeta was nothing more than just this blue dot with yellow arms and legs and hair.
No, what episode was it?
Oh, dude,
where does it happen in the series?
I'm trying to remember where it happened in the series, but
I think this.
But you know how there's a couple of those ones where it's like this polar opposite, where everything's just drawn well and everything, and then
everything has twice as many lines as it did in the rest.
Yes, and then this one was the exact 180 degrees from that, and it was just
it's like Canadian Sunday morning cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally know those episodes.
Yeah.
I think to Space Dandy's credit, like not only is the art style maintained at a decent standard through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It changes actually. Like the not so much the main crew, but the like the art style of the rest of the worlds they're exploring and what's going on with that. The worlds around them, it actually will change art styles, which I really enjoyed about it.
The plant episode was one of them like most defining of that.
Yeah. Where it's almost like this weird like 60s like flower power acid trip.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Exactly.
And there's one where they're fishing. Did you watch the one where they're fishing for like the water, whatever the great water creature that comes every blue moon?
Yeah.
That one has like this Japanese art style to it, with the way the waves curl and like the way everything's always flowing like that in it. That one I really like because gravity doesn't work in that world for some reason, and the road to the top of that mound went up the side, and you could just step on it and like walk sideways up to the top where the little girl and the old dude lived. But I loved the art style on that one. It wasn't like my favorite episode, but it was enjoyable to watch. And there were several that I felt that way about. I'm really curious to hear it in English. I don't know that I'd rewatch the whole thing. it's probably been ruined, and I have to watch it in Japanese now. But I'm curious what that translation would be like.
I'm sorry, but
I would almost hope it'd be very Hanna-Barbera, right?
oh yeah,
That would be awesome. Like, don't oversell it. It
No.
sells itself. You don't need to oversell it.
I think the Japanese is overdone on it even.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's very much, and again, they're making fun of American
I know.
stuff, right? Yeah,
I know, but it's like way over the top.
yeah. All right, so we have to put a number on it.
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
7. I actually really liked it. I'm gonna give it like if I could find it somewhere, like if I found it like $20 for the set of it or whatever, I
Yeah.
would totally get it. I'm gonna give it. Man, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I think it's really a solid 8. I think.
So Jack's got
Check
you
it
by
out.
0.5.
I know, and I want to say more just to beat out Jack, but I'm actually really glad he did like it.
Because he did when he came back after he recommended it to us. He was like almost apologetic.
Yeah, right. And I love that boobs are so they're in there so much.
Yeah, I know.
There's so many boobies in it. He says the word boobies so much, and that which is not. There's got to be a Japanese word for boobies. But
Restaurant.
he says boobies
Yeah.
and restaurants. I love the restaurants. Those are hilarious. Which is basically Hooters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's totally Hooters.
Yeah. So I really think if you're a fan
Yeah,
of
I was gonna
anime,
say, the only thing that's close to that in Japan that I know of is a maid cafe.
a maid cafe.
Yeah.
What's that?
The maid outfits with the really low.
Oh yeah. Like the French maid.
Yeah, French maid, but like very kinky French maid.
Huh.
And it's totally. I'm sorry, master.
Yeah, right. Those weird Japanese people.
Akihabara. I want to go there.
Okay. Well, I guess that brings us beer wrap up.
Wicca Wicca.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
The spiciness definitely came out more. It felt a little more crisp overall. The malt flavors really subsided quite a bit as it got a little warmer.
It's actually a little bit richer.
A
it's
little
warmed
overall, but it's I don't know. The spiciness of those hops just really came through.
They really like. It's like after you drink it, there's definitely that spiciness that kind of like bounces down your tongue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, but it really kind of does, right? It's like you can actually feel it in your mouth as it goes.
It's dancing on my tongue.
Yeah, it does. That was a
that
little
was
bit
a
of space
pirouette.
dandy. Dancing on my tongue, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you give Pike Golden Ale? Artisan Ale.
Pike Naughty Nelly Artisan Ale. Ooh, I'm going to give it. I'm going to stick with my 7.
Okay. You liked it as much as Space Dandy.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say, I'm going to give it a solid 7 too. I think it's pretty good.
Alrighty. I
Alright.
should probably write down here that it's the Naughty Nelly, though.
I really have to pee. This is just
Oh
going
my god,
right
this
through
is
me.
like normal.
It's the morning, though. It's because we record early. I don't know what it is.
Morning. It
Yeah.
is 2:21, by the way.
It's morning for me. I'm a nerd. Nerds get it. You get it out there. To all the nerds. Speaking
draw
of the nerds,
fuds.
bottoms
Thumbs
up.
up.
Let's get
Nerd
nerd-buzzed. There it is. It was late, but we got it.
Yeah, it was a little quite late.
Outro? No? Outro?
Yeah, try
Outro.
again. One more.
Let me, I'm gonna make it work. It's gonna happen, people.
Talking about
There
beer, talking about nerd culture.
actually pretty
You're
good.
on Nerdbuzzed. Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed.